If you haven't noticed, when some disciples of the Witness are destroyed, they turn into trees. Rhulk, Calus, and even Nezarec as seen in the Final Shape trailer. I brushed right over this for a very long time, but the roots are actually explained and the answer might surprise you. Healing, different abilities, and control of the Witness's followers. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in. Disciples are transformed by the Witness. Calus was the latest we saw in his descent into madness. On the Glycon, they would fuse the minds of some scorn to try and speak with the Witness itself, which Calus succeeded in. In Season of the Haunted, trying to accept that discipleship and secrets of the Lunar Pyramid, and finally in Lightfall, a disciple with new powers of resonance. So not only do these disciples kneel under the Witness's ideals and control, but it seems a transformation does actually take place. Calus took a bath next to the Witness, and maybe that's when he gained his power of resonance and darkness.
Let them come and see. Our shape revealed.
We see these disciples and even tormentors showcase these powers of resonance, and when they die, they emit this tree-like substance. Roots spill out from the inside of their body and sort of surround the area.
Witness, forgive me.
In the Gouging Light lore card from Witch Queen, we may get an answer as to what this exactly is. In the moment his sparrow crashed, there was no time to react, to brace, to think. There was, however, an instant for him to feel an unbearable, brief eternity, when everything in Marco's world was pain. Nothing else existed, just the simple, sharp agony that made up his whole universe, and just as quickly, it was gone. Stillness. The sound of a motorized whine returned to him first, ringing in opposition to the pulsing ache in his head. Slowly his eyes adjusted, and he glimpsed the unbearable brightness of the Martian sun. Slowly and all too quickly, pain returned to smother all else. The sparrow beside him smoked, reactor shielding intact, but only just. He eyed the long gouge in the ground where the bike had bottomed out and scraped its way across the ruddy landscape where it had rolled over his. He looked down at what was still attached of the leg, broken, twisted, meat. Bile caught in his throat and he choked it down before realizing the mangled limb was the only corner of his flesh free from pain. The sun rolls in. White beyond white plumes lick worlds. Hope births agony, births stillness. Strained electro-mariachi music still sputtering through the sparrow's speakers, Marco struggled to inhale, and a flutter in his chest hinted at a punctured lung. Punctured. His ragged breath caught, and he looked for the sample containers, packed so carefully and cautiously by the Guardians who'd survived the raid on the Throne World's pyramid. His gaze fell on container 6010, lying cracked against a spar of basalt. Yawning plasma, thick embrace, light gouging light, only warm shadows. Black veins snaked through the red dust, through the wreckage. Hand-delivered glory strips pain from those too weak to savor. They wound through the soil and, where flesh met dirt, had already traced into his twisted limb. The sparrow's carriage throbbed like a heart, and Marco could feel the hymnal rhythm in his leg. Worlds burned free, sweet, still ash. Visions crowded his mind, spilling into his mouth and lungs, threatening to drown him in bliss. His shattered leg turned and popped and righted itself, and euphoria filtered through him where pain should be. Deep, still, safe embrace. He dragged his sidearm from its holster, gasping as he took careful aim at the cracked reactor shielding, so soft and still. His mind tore free, and in the unbearable, brief eternity, he gulped one final breath. Lie still. What remained of Marco squeezed the trigger. So parts of this tree or root was taken from Rhulk after the Guardians went into the throne world in the raid. This Guardian Marco was transporting them and somehow crashed. Either the root spilled out and caused this crash, or he crashed on his own. The point is, the root spilled out and began to infect him, but also heal parts of him. In the end, he blows up the Sparrow and himself. This suggests that the root seemed to corrupt, in this case, a Guardian. Now maybe it did heal parts of him, make him feel that euphoria as described, but it did infect him. He didn't want this, it just kind of happened. The disciples emit this upon known death, and it's meant to corrupt what's nearby, it would seem. To me, maybe it's compared to a defense mechanism of some sort. Either to keep something from destroying the physical bodies of these disciples, which could work, you could just blow them up from a distance, or to take over what's nearby, use that to cling to life, as it tried to do with the Guardian in this lore tab. In concept art, Rhulk and Nezarec have what Bungie calls a Chimera trait. Chimera is usually using parts of other things to form a body of your own. In Nezarec's case, he has many different eyes from different species. So is that what's happening with these disciple roots, latching out to bring them back to life with pieces from other bodies? Nezarec was hit by the Traveler's beam on board the pyramid ship of the Witness, and that was all that was left. The Witness only had Nezarec's head. But from that, thanks to Light and Dark, he ended up growing throughout the raid and became what we fought in the end. So this power disciples have is quite intriguing. We don't really see them wielding the powers we have in Darkness like Stasis or Strand. They have something completely different. Maybe it allows the Witness to control parts of them, but also shows this capability of resonance, rage seen in Rhulk, and even healing. We know the new 3rd Darkness subclass, likely releasing in the final shape thanks to the leaked video from someone at Bungie, is a red subclass, and there is a work in progress icon. Rhulk emits this rage and his room turns red in the 3rd phase. Is there a coincidence here? Nezarec also has a rage feature, so if we inherit these same types of powers, would that be what it deals with, rage? We know the orange power is known as resonance, even shown as so in Lightfall's concepts, so the power may be tied to it or stemming from it, like Rhulk and Nezarec's rage. Do they channel that power from somewhere else, and resonance is just a side power they have? Whatever power we see may very well look like this though, the black vines and roots, resonance, and even these red-looking abilities. Let me know in the comments down below what you think these roots are all about with the disciples, and what powers do you think we will inherit in the Final Shape expansion. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.